15 seconds.
We'll see how I do.
Oh, you'll be great.
No promises yet.
10 seconds.
This is what you do.
Sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everyone, for the last session of Resource Essay for San Antonio Startup Week. I'm here with one of the best humans that I know, especially if you are a veteran entrepreneur and you're in Aggie land. Blake Petty leads the EBV program at Texas A&M. He's also the executive director for the McFerrin Center. And this is a guy you want to know. He's a super connector. He is an advocate. He provides network resources, and he's just really, really great guy who's also very smart. So I'm excited that we were able to get Blake here, who just flew in from Nashville to San Antonio, and then we'll be heading back to Aggie land later. So thank you, Blake, for being here today. And we know the IVMF has a lot of EBV cohorts. The Texas A&M one is the best. So if you're thinking about it, apply for the Texas A&M cohort. And I think James in the audience and Henry will agree, because we are all alumni. And we went there and we weren't quite sure if we were in the right place, because they treated us like we were Hollywood. Like, just, we were like, what is happening? Is this a joke here? But essentially, the program is just amazing. If you're looking for community connection network, if you're looking for a place to go back to get recharged and refueled when you have those downslopes and stay connected in your journey, Texas A&M and College Station and the McFerrin Center team is the place to be. So I could talk about Blake and his team, Shanna,
I don't know what to
Tammy,
add to that. That's fantastic.
For another 20 minutes, but I'm not going to do that because we won't hear from Blake. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Blake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Wow. What a fantastic intro. I hope not to disappoint. So my Aggie family, you know how we're going to start. I hope you will oblige. Howdy. Howdy. Great to hear that. Melanie's right. I just got off a plane from Nashville. No, Aggie Land's not in Nashville. The McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship actually is the hub for entrepreneurial activity all across campus. We do about 35 programs a year, primarily for the 81,000 Aggies that we have running around College Station right now. I was in Nashville at Vanderbilt University for a pitch competition where one of our Aggies, a really brilliant sophomore, was highly successful, showed very well at the SEC pitch competition. He wasn't in the money, and I think that is going to just drive him to do even better. But I wanted to tell you about his company. This 19-year-old finance major has developed an AI tool for seniors trying to use technology. I think we all know, some of us personally, know how hard it is, how they struggle with this technology. He saw his grandma struggling just to place a call on her phone, and he's got an AI tool that fixes all of that for them. And I'm telling you all about his company. It's called Hey Eva, where you say, hey, Eva, I'd like you to call my son. I'd like you to change my Facebook profile pic. I'd like you to do these things for me. I'm telling you all about Hey Eva because for those of us Gen Xers and older, and you probably think that the future is looking pretty dismal, it's not. There's some fantastic kids who are doing some amazing things, and a lot of them there in Aggie Land. I was proud to have the opportunity to showcase Hey Eva and that company with the SEC pitch competition. But I'm even more proud to be coming back to San Antonio today, giving you a little bit of information, a little insight, hopefully answering a lot of questions that you may have about the McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship and specifically our Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans. You're going to hear me call that by the acronym EBV. We name everything an acronym at Texas A&M, and this program is no exception. So EBV is one of those 35 programs that our center puts on. I consider it a signature program because we've been doing it for a long time. We started in 2008, and I'll tell you a little bit of the history of the program. I'm also proud that I think it's one of the programs that our center does the best, right? We're Aggies, and we can be quite obnoxious about trying to be the best simply because, yes, we are the best at most things. This particular program what we do with EBV, and especially with our EBV participants, the graduates that we've now surpassed 400 graduates in total from the EBV program. It's one of the things that we do so well that it sells itself. And that means that I'm not here to convince you to take a look at EBV. In fact, I could probably turn to Henry and James and Melanie and Justin in the back as one of our mentors. I could turn to any one of these individuals and they could tell you more than I could about the impact and the power of our EBV program. I am going to give you all those details. I hope you have questions that I can answer. But maybe more importantly, I need to encourage everyone here and everyone online to think very seriously about resources like EBV, the programs, the accelerators, the incubators, all of the things that you are certainly learning about today and at Startup Week here. But some of the programs and some of the things that you wouldn't know about unless you do a little research and do a little digging, perhaps like EBV, I really want you to put in the effort and think very seriously about the value you can get out of a community like we have through EBV and like you would have through vSource or IBMF or any of these other organizations. Yes, you do need to take the first step. And as an entrepreneur, that's critical. You should learn that the first step is always yours. I want you to learn more about EBV, but more importantly, I want you to know that you've got a collection, a community, a repository of resources, support, and colleagues that you need to be leveraging for your entrepreneurial journey. One of the things that we emphasize with our student programs is that congratulations, you're an Aggie. That means a lot, but it also means you're in a very big pool of other Aggies. So if you intend on being a successful Aggie entrepreneur, you better plug into your Aggie entrepreneurial community. And so I'm going to say the same thing to you, Aggie or not. I want you to plug into your entrepreneurial community through resources like you're learning about today. Perhaps it is through the EBV program or any other program. You shouldn't do this alone. You can't go very far alone. So you might as well get connected in with your community, leverage that community. And so that's one of the reasons I'm really excited about being here with you today. Let me speak specifically about EBV. Certainly, if you have questions, don't hesitate to throw them out there. And even if you think that you're only going to hear from me today, you're wrong, because I actually am going to need a little bit of audience participation here as we wrap up the day. So just be prepared for that. As I said, EBV launched in 2008. I have to give a lot of credit to Dr. Mike Haney and the team at Syracuse University. As proud as A&M is of being a veteran-friendly campus, Texas A&M did not come up with the EBV program. It was actually conjured up and launched, piloted at Syracuse back in 2007. And in 2008, Dr. Haney contacted my predecessor at Texas A&M. He said, we've got this really interesting new veteran program. I want you to try it out. Also contacted UCLA and Florida State. And so the four of our universities in 2008 started something that has continued to grow. Now we've got about 11 universities in the EBV consortia across the US. That means that 11 of these sites are putting on their own version of this program. I'm going to tell you all about, as Melanie said, the best program, the one at Texas A&M. But there's lots of other programs and lots of other opportunities, certainly in EBV as well as IVMF throughout the country. All of the universities come together around, if you want to call it a curriculum, but don't think, boring, stuffy, patch on the sleeve professors teaching these courses around entrepreneurship. While it's a curriculum, it's really more of an experience. Our program is designed to take a veteran that is in business for themselves or is contemplating going into business for themselves, especially those that are in a position, you have a paycheck, and you are thinking about leaving that paycheck to go launch something on your own. Congratulations. Love that for you. But let's make sure that you're making the right move. So we are looking for veterans that have started or are about to start, We are looking for veterans running businesses in any industry. Yes, I mean any industry. Services, products, low tech, high tech, no tech, all of these things count as an opportunity that we want to make sure, number one, that this is the right opportunity for you. We spend a lot of time in our EBV curriculum or our experience making sure that you truly understand that opportunity, meaning, do you really understand your customers? Do you really understand who your customers are and who they are not? And do you understand what value you're going to be able to provide to them? So we're highly customer centric. We focus very deeply on customer discovery, customer development, following a lean launch model. And in a week, we hope to take you from this level of certainty to absolutely, I am convinced, I know this is my customer, this is what they need, and I have a path to reach them. So that means that at any stage of development of any industry, any product, any service, you could benefit from EBV or a program like it, because we're simply going to focus on your customer, your market, and their needs. So the program itself is, I will admit, it's highly competitive. This is an application process that thankfully our friends at IBMF coordinate. All the applications come through their clearinghouse. If you served in any branch of the military post 9/11, we are excited to hear about your business or your business concept. Again, doesn't have to be launched, doesn't have to be in business. You don't have to have your corporation formed, but you can, and you'll go through an application process that, of course, is a written application. We also do a pretty sophisticated interview screening process. And I say it's sophisticated because we rely on all of our past graduates to do the screening for us. Those who have been through EBV know exactly what it is and what it isn't. And they also know that they want the program to continue to increase in quality and value. And so they're the best ones screening the next class of EBV participants. And so very grateful that our graduates don't simply cross the stage and toss the hat and then disappear from us. They stay engaged in this program. They're intentional about keeping the quality of the program up. And most of them, most of the time, will actually give back to the program. And I'll tell you more about how that actually works. Once you've gone through the screening process, and by the way, that screen can actually help you to go to any of the EBV programs around the U.S. So if Texas A&M's program doesn't work for your time frame, if you're not available when we host ours, there are 10 other universities that you could choose to go to. I would recommend that you stick it out and come to Texas A&M's, but all of the programs are great. They all have their own flavor of entrepreneurial experience. But should you choose to enroll in and get through the screening process, you will launch into about a 30-day online prep training. And most of this is very thought-provoking. This is not a lot of reading. It's not a lot of digestion of business principles. Instead, for that 1 month online phase 1 portion of the program, you're getting to know yourself better. You're getting to know your business opportunity better. And you're also getting to know the others in your group. So each of our classes is about 25 participants. Texas A&M runs 2 cohorts each year. So about 50 veterans in all coming through this program every calendar year. Those other 25 peers actually become the most valuable resources that you will take away from EBV. I would also argue if you are in any accelerator, any incubator program, anywhere, learning from, connecting with, and staying connected with that family of other entrepreneurs in that community is the best, highest quality use of your time. And so at EBV, we're very proud that our participants get to know each other very well. It becomes much like a summer camp troop where they refuse to lose each other's contact. They refuse to not stay in touch with each other. They actually oftentimes end up doing business together. Those 25 participants get to know each other a little bit virtually, but that's simply a baseline setting. What we try to do is get you prepared for the phase 2 of EBV, which is really where the fun kicks in. Phase 2 is an 8-day residency at Texas A&M University on campus. I told you we run 2 cohorts per year. For 2 weeks out of the year, we set aside all of our other programming. In fact, we host it when the students are out on break, winter break, summer break. We focus everything, all of our attention, all of our efforts, every second of our day, we focus on our EBVers, because you are committing to leave your life behind. You're leaving your family, your responsibilities, everything, even your business. You're leaving that behind, and you're coming to beautiful College Station, Texas, and spending a week dedicated to your business. What I ask every EBV participant before they even agree to come to participate, I ask them, if you will give me 1 week undistracted, if you will have others take care of your responsibilities at home, if you will leave behind all of the business concerns, family concerns, leave life behind, and give me 1 week just completely focused on that business, our EBV program will move the needle for your business. And I think we have had 100% accuracy with that. So long as you are dedicated during that week to focus only on your business, there's no way you can't actually progress with your business while you're there. When you are with us during that week, we'll put you up at the hotel. We drive you around in shuttle buses. You are responsibility free because, again, I want you focused on that business. We will spend our days in workshops together. Scenarios like this, lots of open dialogue, not a lot of lecture, not a lot of boring, dry stuff coming from professors. Instead, we actually engage a lot of our practitioners. You're actually going to hear government contracting from folks like Ron, who do government contracting. You're going to hear accounting principles and bookkeeping principles from CPAs. And it doesn't hurt that Texas A&M University still has the largest active database of former students. I met one in the back just a moment ago. Our former students are rabid about supporting not only entrepreneurs, but especially veteran entrepreneurs. So we tap into the Aggie network of over 500,000 active former students who have all raised a hand to say, let me know how I can help. We tap into that network to bring them in as workshop leaders and, more importantly, as mentors. So we'll spend our day in these workshops learning more about basic principles, marketing, finance, bookkeeping, accounting, all of the things that you're going to need to know to run a business effectively. And then you're going to spend the evening with a pool of about 30 to 40, sometimes 50 mentors from a wide range of expertise. They are coming to spend their time with our EBVers and actually dive deep one-on-one with them to learn what did you learn unexpectedly today, and how are you going to apply that to your business. We've seen these mentors, by the way, they come from San Antonio and Austin and Houston and Dallas. They flock to Aggieland for these evenings during EBV, and you'll often see them come and stay for the week, so that every evening during the week they can meet another veteran, they can work with another EBVer, and then perhaps most interestingly, they will maintain those contacts. Those mentors will stay in touch and continue to support, and oftentimes will go into business or partnership or investment into our EBV companies and our EBV participants. Created some lifelong and powerful relationships between an EBVer and a mentor who literally only get to spend a few hours together during that week. But it's the power in those hours and the complete and total dedication to the business that makes this work for our EBV program. So we call it a boot camp. And if you're a veteran, you've certainly been through a more rigorous boot camp than this. But in terms of business boot camps, I would suggest that this one is right at the top. This is a week-long deep dive, quite rigorous, very, very time and thought testing exercise throughout the week, where we want to make sure, if this is the right opportunity for you, You need to determine that. You need to validate that. You need to understand what these customers need and how you're going to deliver it to them. And we want to make sure that after you leave, and by the way, we have a fantastic graduation ceremony for our EBVers. We've got some amazing facilities at Texas A&M, one of those being the George H.W. Walker Bush Library. We host our EBV graduation ceremony in the library. It's a wonderful cap to a very busy, exhausting, tasking week. But following that graduation, we don't want this to be a goodbye so long. The point of EBV is to establish these relationships, to do it very quickly, very intensively, so that we can maintain them forever afterwards. We, through IBMF, in the phase 3 after graduation from the residency, we offer a number of resources, support. There's a lot of service providers that have partnered through IBMF and the EBV program where you can get legal services, discounted or free. You can get graphic design, advertising, accounting, all of these services specifically designed for you, what you need coming out of that week, and available to you through not only the next year, but honestly, for as long as you need to rely on it. As a participant who is committed to EBV, the EBV family is committed to helping you long after you have left Texas A&M. One of my favorite things about the EBV program is the tendency for its participants to not disappear from us, and instead to keep coming back, oftentimes as mentors for the next class, oftentimes as mentors for our other programs. It's fascinating to see my EBV family show up for our student programs, our student pitch competitions, mentoring of our student teams, because there is something special that I can't describe about Texas A&M and the Aggie family that actually gets you in the family as an EBVer and makes you stay engaged with our family. We're grateful that EBVers, whether they knew Texas A&M prior, whether they even liked Texas A&M prior, if they come to EBV, they become part of the Aggie family. They tap into this huge and very generous network of Aggies that are dedicated and very, very serious about helping veteran entrepreneurs at whatever stage and for whatever goal. And we're grateful that the McFerrin Center can put together a program that, despite the fact that it is 1 week and it is an intensive 1 week, we have maintained relationships with our EBVers from all the way back in year 1, 2008. The way that they show up, they still continue to help each other. They continue to help our center, and we continue to reach out in any way that we can to help them. One of the newer components of our EBV program was actually the idea of a San Antonio-based EBVer. He asked, hey, we love getting to know our little class, our cohort, our 25 peers. We'd really like to get to know all of the other classes that have come before us and all the other classes that will come after us. We should put together an EBV reunion. And just like the great entrepreneurs we are, we stole that idea. We made it ours. We said, that's a great idea. And so once a year, we will have an EBV graduate reunion where we'll pull back 50 or so of our veterans from wherever, doing whatever, at whatever stage of business. They're just excited about coming back, getting another taste of Aggieland, getting reconnected with their peers, and actually meeting all the other EBVers that they didn't go through the program with. And so we've generated a fantastic network of just EBVers connecting with and working with each other. All right, last thing I'm going to say, and then I do want to open up to questions. And if you don't have any questions, then I've got questions for you. I've told you all of these things, very proud of the EBV program, proud of the work that I get to do with McFerrin Center on behalf of Texas A&M University. Texas A&M University is absolutely categorized as a veteran-friendly campus. Somehow, we're not #1 in the nation, and we are out to change that ranking. We have a goal passed down from our previous president to make Texas A&M University the #1 ranked veteran-friendly campus. We're very close, but we're not #1, and we won't tolerate that. EBV is a huge component of our veteran outreach. And so I can tell you that all the way from the president down, Texas A&M wants to help support you in this. One big, important, critical matter that I did not tell you about this program, the 30-day prep, the 8-day residency, which, by the way, during those 8 days, we promise that you will never go hungry during EBV. We feed you well, and then we feed you even more. All of that, including the phase 3 support that goes on for 12 plus months after that, is entirely free to the veteran participants. Entirely free. Entirely free. Cost of zero. Very, very proud that Texas A&M not only supports this, but we have a wonderful corporate partner, the Reynolds and Reynolds Corporation, which don't think RJ Reynolds cigarettes, don't think Reynolds Wrap aluminum foil. Reynolds and Reynolds is a College Station based business that is veteran friendly, loves this program, and has actually endowed this program to make sure that we get to do it twice a year and it never goes away. That endowment allows us to do it right, do it best, and make sure that you're not distracted by what is this going to cost me while I'm going through the program. That is none of your concern. We take care of that. So proud of that. I see some hands. Would love to know questions or thoughts or testimonials.
Oh, I have a lot of testimonials. First question, transportation. So if I live in Virginia, how do I get to you? Do I have to pay for my transportation to EBV?
Well, we love all veteran entrepreneurs from all corners of the U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. And if you apply for and get through and are accepted into our program, you don't pay a dime from the moment you start our program. So yes, I will fly you into College Station. We'll fly you back home. If you are around College Station, like San Antonio, we'll even reimburse your gas to come to get to us. The point of this program is to make sure that you are not deciding, I wish I could go, but I can't afford to go. That's nonsense. We're not going to allow you to think that. We're going to handle all of the transportation to, from. We're going to handle all of the transportation during, the lodging, the feeding, everything, all the care and feeding of all of our EBVers is handled for you. Henry.
Wait, what stage of business should I be in before I apply?
Great question. Henry asked if I have a certain stage of business, should I or shouldn't I apply? The answer is always yes, you should apply. What we prefer to do in EBV is to catch the middle, largest part of the curve in new startup businesses, meaning that if you are extraordinarily early, like maybe I'm thinking of something that I might start in 5 or 10 years, we'll probably tell you, why don't you come back in 5 or 10 years? We'll catch you later. If you are much later, in other words, maybe you have 10, 20, 25 employees, you're generating a lot of revenue, there are other IVMF programs that are better suited for you than the EBV program. So we'll probably redirect those later growth opportunities to a different program. If you are anywhere in between and you are at concept turning into execution, business planning, business model validation, especially if you are seeking those customers, if you think you know those customers or you're trying to find those customers, you're validating those customers, that's exactly where our sweet spot is. So any older and any earlier, I would still encourage you to apply, because we never know with each batch. We want to get the meat of the curve. And if everyone is a little bit later, we'll probably accept that type of company. If everyone's a little bit earlier, we will accept those as well. So I would encourage you to apply, again, not just for EBV, but IVMF and honestly, all of these community-based programs you need to be a part of. So please don't ever think, well, I'm not the right business, or I'm not ready, or I'm too late. Nonsense. You need to get engaged with your community, whether it's EBV, whether it's another IVMF program, or a vSource resource. Great question, Henry. Thank you.
What do the mentoring sessions look like?
What do mentoring sessions look like? Well, first off, like entrepreneurship, they are messy. They're a lot of fun. It is a deep dive. Oftentimes, we will have our EBV participants practice their 60-second pitch. In fact, I tell them, listen, we're about to serve you a free dinner, but nothing comes free. You do have to earn your dinner, and the way you earn that is to practice your 60-second pitch in front of our room full of mentors. Giving that 60-second pitch allows our mentors to say, oh, I know who that person needs to meet, or I have that expertise. They have made an ask of me, and I'm going to go find them during dinner. Sometimes we flip the script and we make our mentors pitch to the EBVers, where somebody can stand up and say, hi, I'm Blake. I run the McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship. My expertise is in this or that. And if you need that, come find me for dinner. So we always have dinner. We're always breaking bread with our mentors, making sure that you have that chance to develop a personal connection with them. And then we'll spend probably 2 hours a night after dinner diving deep with one mentor. Or sometimes we see mentors ganging up on an EBVer. Sometimes we see EBVers ganging up on the mentors. It's a very, very fluid process. But I'm glad that Henry brought that question up, because any of you in here thinking, I might want to try EBV, but I'd really like to see it before I jump in, I'm going to invite you to come be a mentor at our next EBV. I'll give you the dates in a moment. I'm also going to give you the website that I should have told you right from the outset, so you could be checking it out. But if you will sign up and you will come as a mentor, first off, don't feel intimidated. Too many people think, well, I don't know enough to be a mentor. I like to tell people, have you ever bought anything? You ever been a customer of anything? Certainly you have. That qualifies you to potentially be a good mentor to somebody, because you can tell them the things that you thought in your process of buying or not buying a product. Ta-da. Now you've got the expertise that you need to be a mentor. So I want you to consider coming and being a mentor in our January cohort. January is already full, but we are going to be, we'll be lining up our participants for next July. I told you we run during the breaks, January and July. That's the residency component. We've already got our January dates set, and I'm going to tell you those in just a moment. But I would love for any and all of you to come enjoy a meal for free. Come sit down as a mentor with our EBVers. I dare you to not have a good time. And I dare you to not actually feel compelled to think, you know, this is great on this side of the table. I hope I continue doing this, but I might also need to apply to get to the other side of the table and be a participant in the next EBV. Our next EBV, let me give you the website first. EBV.tamu, that's for Texas A&M University, .edu. Make sure you use edu, it's not .com. ebv.tamu.edu will get you to our McFerrin site. Down at the bottom, you can see where you can literally click to apply, and you can see the entire application process through Syracuse IBMF. You may also find on that page, I suspect you will, the dates of our January cohort. Because Texas A&M classes have decided to move up, I think we're kicking off spring semester on January 12th. That means we've got to move up our EBV. So we're going to start the new year. January 3rd is our first kickoff day for EBV. We will host EBV from January 3rd through January 10th. Almost every single one of those nights we'll have mentoring. So that is an opportunity for you to sign up. If you're interested in mentoring or coming and checking, observing one of the EBV sessions, through that website, you'll find a, hey, I want to be a mentor button. You submit to us your contact info. And as we get closer to the end of the year, we'll start sending out our mentoring dates, and you can pick and choose. I like this date works for me. We'd love to have you for all dates or one date. But I think coming as a mentor will give you the insights to again, perhaps commit to being a mentor every cohort, but also giving you the insights to see maybe I should be on the other side of the table as a participant. The July cohort dates have not yet been set, but it will be mid-July, somewhere in between July 4th and the end of the month. We'll take a full week in July. We'll be announcing those dates on that same ebv.tamu.edu. We'll also, if you will sign up as a potential mentor, we'll also be sending out notices, announcements, times where we may be coming back to San Antonio to tell you more about EBV and gathering our EBV participants in the San Antonio area. We'd love for you to come back and get to know more of us. So please do sign up for our newsletter, sign up for the EBV connection, and we'll make sure that you get all the announcements you need. Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk a little bit about the pivot? I thought that was very unique because a lot of times we think about, we know our business idea or we know the direction we're going, and then you get to EBV and then you start talking about a pivot. Can you tell us more how you approach that and why?
Pivoting is a critical, and I would even say a necessary step in certainly at the earliest stages of an entrepreneurial journey. When we talk about the pivot, we're not talking about complete scorched earth and completely change all plans and all vision for your business. Unless you discover that that's what you need to do, more likely you're going to discover that you have a vision, you think you understand this customer, this market, this need, and we think we can solve this problem. And in EBV, we really challenge you on that to understand how you might be just a shade off, but that shade, that difference in reality versus your perception can actually be the difference between success and failure as a new business. So what we look for are EBV participants that are dedicated, ready to grind, ready to work, willing to put in the effort to make a successful business, but most importantly, that they are pivotable, that they have the flexibility to understand, I think this, but I don't know, and until I know, I have to be willing to consider the pivot. And a lot of our mentoring, a lot of even the workshops that we do are around challenging exactly where you might not be thinking that your business needs to go, the customers that you may not be thinking about that actually need your product, your services, your skill more than the ones that you feel like or that you think, you assume need your business. So we do absolutely want you to come out successfully. We don't at all need you to come out of EBV with exactly the same vision, the same plan, the same business, because chances are we hope to help you see where an easier market, a better pathway, more lucrative customer may exist in the pivot around your original concept. Blake, yes, ma'am.
So I think your session is also listed as raising around.
Raising around.
Yeah. So what happened?
So that was a suggestion, and I will talk a moment about it. One of the other roles that I have is as executive director for the Aggie Angel Network based out of Texas A&M, with Aggies who want to invest in new startups. Sometimes it is with our EBVers, sometimes it is with Aggies, but honestly, great deals abound everywhere. And so our Aggies love to see great deals in general. I wanted to cover more of the EBV program than I could insights about raising around, especially in today's raising investment market. So I'm happy to take some of that discussion offline, but I didn't feel like this was the best audience or the best use of my time to focus strictly on raising around. And I apologize if anyone came expecting to get an investment out of me or my angels. There is a process, and I'm very, very happy to walk you through that process and even talk to you about some of the timing and other concerns that current raises are certainly facing. Yep.
Yeah, I was here for the other one too, but it's interesting. Just a little confused, but no, I mean, for me, I'm not a veteran, but I'm a project manager with the Housing Authority and Affordable Housing Developments. So we cut deals and we also build housing. But in a lot of those are federal funds, right? So we have vouchers for veterans and military. So we usually have a significant population living in housing, affordable housing.
Sure.
So one, I think it's a good resource for anyone in that housing or that are living in our housing communities that aspire to entrepreneurship.
Sure.
One, are you marketing to those people that may not be, having good income or live in affordable housing? But two, if they are, we have like a whole resident services department, right? as we have to by federal
Right.
regulation. The no cost is real good. Does this count towards anything? They take this program, do they get college credit? What are the benefits for someone? I know they'll get knowledge and expertise. What could they do career-wise or any type of growth?
Sure.
Positive moving to work type of benefits or initiatives?
Great question. Both great questions. To answer your first, certainly if someone is a veteran and is interested in building a business, I would suggest that if they are running a side hustle, but don't ever intend to make it more than a side hustle, perhaps EBV is not the best program. There are other programs and other resources that they could leverage. If someone is running a side hustle or thinking about starting something that could genuinely become their career, then absolutely EBV is for any and all. And while we certainly want to prioritize our Texas-based veterans, I love having Texas veterans come to Texas A&M for this program. We are open and available. The application process is open to any veteran from anywhere in the U.S. and with any business type. Your second question, this is not a credentialed program. There is a certificate for completing the program. What it lacks is the length and rigor to actually count as a course or course credit. But what it doesn't lack is the opportunity for our participants to get to know the other resources available at Texas A&M. In fact, one of our dinners, one of our evenings is sponsored by A&M's Veteran Resource and Support Center, where they brag very heavily on being an Aggie, enrolling in the courses, leveraging GI Bill, whatever it might be, and making sure that all of our EBVers know of the opportunities to continue their education at Texas A&M. While I'm always proud of the businesses that we help to grow, I'm just as proud of the EBVers who actually choose to come back as students, enrolling at Texas A&M, getting a degree in whatever field they are passionate about. Our program itself is not credentialed, but everything about it is treated exactly like a class. It just happens to be in a very accelerated manner. Of course, yeah. Good questions. Yes.
What kind of success rate?
Oh, great question. I should have bragged on that. So depending on the sources that you find, veteran business owners staying in business successfully over 5 years, tremendously successful rates, 80, 85%, depending on where you look. Our Texas A&M EBV graduates, I can't speak to all of the EBV graduates, but I know our Texas A&M EBV graduates are in the 92 to 94% success rate, staying in business after 5 years. Fascinating. That doesn't necessarily mean the same business. In those 5 years post EBV, they've got the skills now and the understanding of when to pivot, how to transition from the business I thought I was going to start and run to the business that I'm now starting and running. And we're just as happy and grateful for those success numbers as well. Thank you for reminding me of those metrics. Yes.
I know one of my cohort members, right, fellow cohort, just got into the Aggie 100 code.
That's right.
Shout out to Cody Allen.
Shout out.
Talk about the Aggie 100.
So one of our other signature programs is called the Aggie 100. You've probably heard of the Inc. 5000 and the Forbes 100 list. Our Aggie 100 celebrates the 100 fastest growing Aggie-owned, Aggie-led companies each and every year. Our Aggie 100 was the first to tie this 100 recognition and celebration to university alumni. We started back in 2005, long before Blake was ever a part of the center. But it has grown not only itself, but it's actually almost in a franchise manner, although we should have franchised it for real. We didn't make any money off of the franchising, but there's about 25 other universities that are running their own 100 program. The Houston Cougar 100, the Georgia Bulldog 100, all of these 100 programs were built off of ours. So we're very proud to have such a long tradition of Aggie entrepreneurship. And while EBV isn't focused only on a Texas A&M graduate, Texas A&M graduates who are also veterans are more than welcome to apply and come through our program. Cody Allen came through last year with his construction and disaster recovery services, and his business landed pretty high on our top 100 list as an Aggie 100 honoree this year. So very proud to have an EBVer and Aggie recognized on our Aggie 100. Any other questions? All right, happy to stay. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, go.
We have a collection of programs, nothing as robust and well organized as EBV. I will have to admit that as Texas A&M, we are an A&M center. My boss is the provost at A&M. We prioritize our current students, then our former students, then our veterans. And everybody non-veteran, non-student, non-former comes after that. So I wish that we... Have they done anything? Oh. Oh, sure. Again, not as well organized as EBV, not as well supported with funding as EBV is, but no, sorry, I misunderstood your question. No, we have a collection of various things that we'll do for former student entrepreneurs. That same website, the ebv.tamu.edu, is connected to all of the McFerrin programs. So just scroll back to the top and you'll see all of the things. And you can actually sort by the programs that are specifically for current students, specifically for former students, veterans, etc. We even have prospective students. So we go into Texas high schools and we want high school innovators and entrepreneurs to submit their idea, and they can be selected to come to campus, pitch their idea, win a little bit of money in the only statewide Texas High School Ideas Challenge. You'll see more information like that on our website. One last. We have been in the School of Business for 25 years. We are now at the president's office because the center is and has always been fully campus-wide. We don't care if you are a freshman in arts or a PhD candidate in engineering. We are the experiential hub for all entrepreneurial activities at Texas A&M. So we are at the institutional level. That's just a recent change this summer. Good questions.
Blake, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
today and spending time with us to talk about EBV. I really appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
a small token of our appreciation.
Thank you.
And all that you do. So for
Thank you
veterans,
all.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna take.
You know how to do this.
That's right. That's right. How could I forget?
All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. Please follow our LinkedIn channel, our LinkedIn page under Resource SA for further programming and what we're going to be doing here at Geekdom in the near future. So please stay connected, sign up, follow us, connect with us, and you will hear from us soon.
Now you know.
Thank you for joining. Have a good one.